Hello awesome people, and welcome to another video. I am back with the SketchUp app on the website, and as you can see, this is the website right here. It's pretty easy to go to. You could just go to SketchUp, keep doing that, sketchup.com, and sign up, log in with a Google account. It's pretty awesome. Saves all of your things in the app itself online, so you don't actually need any computer space, although you will see that my hard drive is actually pretty full on this computer because I do a lot of things, play a lot of games. Kind of fun. I will have some other game uploads of different building things, different playing games. I play the PlayStation. I play a lot of video games. I love being creative in them and creating my own world and doing different things like that. Now, if you watched my first couple of videos, you'd notice I am building a tiny house on the other channel, or video, sorry. And I am on this tiny house, which as you can see is actually pretty similar to the other one. I did not record this process because I was actually first started doing it on a different computer. One of the benefits of having everything saved online, can upload it from a different computer here. So I did keep a lot of the design elements the same because I just liked how they looked aesthetically. I did add a couple different things, and I kind of just wanted to show you each of the different tools that I'm using, so that way you can use the app and see, just how to do things, because I do explain what I'm doing, but I don't necessarily explain how I'm making the thing happen, especially in a sped up version of the app. So this way I can talk and do the things I want to at the same time. Woo-hoo. Instead of doing a voiceover. Voiceovers are hard, man. So much editing. So, bathroom's pretty much the same. I did decide to go in this tiny house because it is a smaller trailer that I have here. Basically, it's two different versions of the same setup that I want. I do like the setup that I'm going with the best, with the bathroom on one side, bedroom on the other, kitchen kind of in the middle. So that is going to be the same setup as the other one, but this one is just on a shorter trailer. And as you can see, I did find somebody created a trailer that is actually the dimensions of one of the smaller trailers. So it's really cool. It's got, if I delete the floor, actually I don't really want to delete the floor, so I'm not going to do that. But let's see if I can get the right angle here. I'm using the orbit tool to look underneath, and it actually has, okay, you can see over here on the fifth wheel part, it's got like bars and everything. It's great. This would be like where your propane is. So zooming back out here, I'm going to show you a couple things that I changed from one design to the other. So I did switch out the mirror. I love this light, so I'm not getting rid of that. And then another cool thing is I did switch out the faucet. This one's a little bit different. I liked the other one better, but I just couldn't find it again. It is one of the things, it depends on how popular the item is or how you spell what you're searching for. I do know I'm the worst speller in the world, so sometimes I spell things wrong, and depending on how that happens can depend on what you actually are searching for. So I ended up with a different faucet. But I do like the bigger vanity. It just ended up that the bathroom ended up being bigger on this tiny house than the other one. And I like the bigger vanity because even if I'm not using all the drawers because of the plumbing for the sink, which is actually going to take up this top left drawer here, which is now hidden behind a wall. See what I mean about the sensitivity? Oh, I'm upside down, see? I'm Spider-Man, for all those who wanted to play the Spider-Man game. You could be Spider-Man. So using the orbit tool and zooming doesn't always work as planned, sorry. So this top left cabinet can't be used because of plumbing. That's just how a house works. So I figured I got 3 drawers of storage here, and then I've got these 4 shelving units. When I created the shelving unit, I realized I was putting a line here using that midpoint technique, and that line actually makes the shelf thicker where the shelf actually is. And when you look at a normal shelf, that's not how it goes. It's usually the same thickness for one layer. So when looking at it, it would actually be about half. This is like a double shelf, so it would be half. So I realized that that was my issue, and I actually fixed it when I went to build the shelf over here. This is going to be my bookshelf. I have a lot of books on it. I own a lot of books, so it only makes sense that I got a pretty big, deep bookshelf to fit them all on. I'm going to have another one too. But when you're looking at this, you can see the frame here actually is the same length all the way around and through the middle versus the double frame here. So it does make for a better look, just, because that's how they are. You want to do things how it's supposed to be, right? So if we come down the stairs, you'll see the laundry room, which I did cut away the wall here. I found that was better for when viewing the laundry room instead of having to go through the door. Then this way I can actually add a door and we'd still get the view of the laundry room. So here is where I did build the cabinets. I changed things up a little bit. I couldn't find the red washer and dryer, and I realized it didn't really fit in this floor plan. So I did add I added a front load dryer, top load washer, and the big cabinets right here. So the cabinets are going to open and it's just going to be a closet, and I figured I could add maybe some storage on the bottom here because the top load washer, I'm tall, I can reach diagonally, so if I add kind of like a small box, I can use that to store the cleaning stuff and just kind of hang the other cleaning stuff up on the wall. Gotta make use of that wall space. Now, on the other side of things, because I made the laundry room shorter here, I also have a storage spot, which by changing the look of it, I created half as my bookcase and half actually as my storage. So you could just stand on this top step here, reach up and grab the bins out, which would be great because I have a lot more books than actually fit on bookshelves. So I figured I could put some bins and some like decorations and some maybe food storage right on top. Some things that might be like pantry wise that won't fit in my sliding pantry that I'm going to have. So that's another cool thing right there. I also created this awesome alcove right here for the bed. I'm going to put an outlet in the wall right here and just basically make it so I have a nightstand. Maybe put like a light in the ceiling part of it. That would be really cool. Great challenge if I were to actually build this to have a light in the ceiling of a built-in, not necessarily a challenge, but it'd be a fun electronic wiring situation type challenge. Now I did do a cutout right here where the wheel is. That's going to be where the door is going to be. So I'll have a porch, and then here's the door. Now, when you walk into the downstairs, I've got the fridge right away because you need that clearance, for the fridge. But then I also have this wall, which is part of that bookshelf up on the top, and it goes through all the way to the bottom. The reason why I have a bookshelf here is because I thought it'd be a really awesome idea to have a gaming bookshelf. I would like to play a lot of board games, and my family likes to play a lot of board games, and it's just something we like to do. So I like to do that, and I need a spot to put them. So these are some thin shelves that board games would stack nicely on. You can have it look very pretty, and it's also the dining room table area. Now I wanted these to be like a bench seating, very thick cushions, lots of pillows. I am going to put a table in the middle. Probably like an ovalish table, not necessarily a square one because you don't want to poke yourself with the square. I also have enough room to make it a drop-down table. Still, I think I would keep with the oval idea, but there is enough wall space where I can make it kind of like a drop-down, curved edge, maybe not oval, but curved edge table right here. That way people can eat, and I could put like a couple benches maybe built into right here, a couple stackable benches, make a little alcove there. Still have the counter space, but benches would be nice. Now, since there's all this extra storage under the bench, I am going to put some drawers like this one here, and I'll show you how I did that in a minute. But I created this drawer because if you look, the bookshelf goes all the way to the back here, but the bookshelf only goes down so far. So I built the shelf, or this drawer, sorry, where the drawer part of it actually goes underneath the bookshelf. And then I figured this would be a great drop all for shoes. I have a lot of shoes. So I could just pull out the whole drawer. It'd be really big. Shove a bunch of shoes in there, pull the drawer closed. That's where my shoes could go. And then this wall, because it's also right where the door is, another reason why I put the door over here and not by the stairs, was so that I could add a hook to that wall. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here so I can show you. So I can add a hook right up here, hang a coat, or something, blanket, apron for the kitchen. I don't know. Do people still use aprons? So I did build my counters because I was trying to do a layout for the kitchen. I wanted kind of an island, but realized there wasn't enough walk space. So I've got my fridge just for height purposes. There is a little space on top of the fridge, so I'm probably going to create something to fit up there. I'll keep everyone updated. Sorry for the excuse of my ceiling. It does not look that great. My poor designing skills. So fridge, probably a nice big bay window. I like bay windows that extend out past the surface of the house because they offer a lot of sunlight because it reflects, but then it also gives you a place to put like plants or knickknacks. You know, it just gives you some more surface area for the building there. So sink, and then dishwasher, can't live without that. And then I was also going to probably put maybe the oven here, but not the stovetop part of the oven. If you know how that works, you can actually separate them. You can buy the stove part separate. But I haven't quite decided whether or not I wanted to do a stovetop or maybe kind of look up induction burners. I think it all depends on the space. But then I've got the cabinets on the other side, and I am going to do right here, which I have not included space for it, kind of like a pull-out pantry. So it's going to actually go all the way up, and then we'll have a cabinet coming across here. The pantry will actually slide out, and then you can access all of your stuff. So that's just something that I know I'm going to have. I might actually even put it on the side with the fridge, because that would help box it in. Might make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm probably going to do that, actually. You know, cool thing about this is you can change your mind. So let me go ahead to the tutorial about how to create drawers, so that way you know how this is gonna go. I'm probably gonna do a cabinet here and then a couple drawers on this side of the bench, because if I do a cabinet I can actually reach the back corner. So that's probably how it's gonna go. So this one will have a handle that goes out, and then these will have handles that go across, so they're more drawer type. I do like the look of these handles, so I'm probably going to use them throughout the entire build, just so, you know, you're prepared. And if I ever were to lose those handles, maybe through a different build or something, I'd probably cry. So I'm going to use the midpoint technique to show you how I do the frame. So you just grab your pencil tool, that's this one. You can actually choose to do straight lines or to actually freehand. I do like the straight line concept because I don't have a drawing pad. A lot of people have those, and I do want to invest, but they cost money, so we're going to probably wait on that. So I just used the tool. When it lights up blue, that means you've got your midpoint. It does tell you have your midpoint, so if you're just slow, you're good. These dots also tell you which axis you're on. So right here I'm on the blue axis, and over here I'm on the red. And then if you're careful, you can find the green one. The green one's difficult to find, but I just use these to do the midpoint, and then I can actually go ahead and create my frame. Now I do want these drawers to have kind of a big frame because I need a handle over here, and so it has to be big enough where the handle is not going to interfere with the surface itself. It doesn't have to be a big frame on top, but I want a big frame on the bottom. It also creates for more support, you know, for the bench itself if the frame is nice and tricky. So I just use the midpoint technique, and I just go along one side and create my frame. So I've got my pieces, so these are going to be my outer pieces here. I think one of them actually is thicker than the other, so just as a point of reference, if it stops glitching, there we go. I can, oh, I didn't want that one. I wanted the orbit tool. There we go. So if I just go like this, look kind of more straight on, I can determine whether or not they actually are the same, which they should be because they went from the middle of the board. So I just selected one of the pieces, and now I'm copying and pasting just so I can test, and they are the same, so it just looks weird because of perspective. So when I do that, now I did the outer one. Now I'm going to show you how you do the middle one because you want it to be the same dimension, but the midpoint doesn't actually work. So I just copied and pasted, and I'm actually going to put one on each side of my middle line here. Okay, now because they're on each side of my middle line, before I would just actually stop it and right here and just delete all these pieces, so that way it's, there you go, there's my frame, you know, you got your middle piece. However, you don't want this to be your middle piece, you actually want this to be your middle piece. Now that you do that, you just cut each of these into midpoint, and you get rid of the two outer ones, and then boom, middle piece is done. And the middle one, sorry. And then look, it's the same size as the others, and it's exactly in the middle. So it's quite nice there. Now going back to the pencil tool, I do have to create the top and the bottom of the drawers. So I am going to make these pretty big drawers, just so you can just shove a bunch of stuff in there. So I measured out the middle, and now I'm measuring out the top. And a faster way to do this would be to just measure out the one piece, select it, use the copy and paste buttons, you know, Control V, Control C, Control C is copy, in case you don't know, and to actually just move them over. Now, these are kind of tricky sometimes because you do have to make sure that you are lining it up correctly, because you could be a smidgen off and then the lines just don't work. So you just want to make sure that you're using it and making sure you're lining it up good. It usually auto lines up, but occasionally it doesn't. So if that's the case, you just gotta fix it, and then you're good to go. So I'm creating the fourth one here, and then I can go ahead and get rid of my tester lines. And there we go. So now that that's there, I'm going to use the eraser tool, get rid of the middle lines there, and then the middle lines here. So it just creates a frame. Oop, that took care of the whole line. I did not want that. I wanted. Huh, why is it taking the whole line? That's weird. That's probably because I was a smidgen off. See what I'm talking about? So now that I got rid of those, I'm going to zoom in here. See where I was off. Oop, zoomed in too far. Oh, see where I'm off here? On my line. You can kind of see it very fine right here. So this is my main line, this is my small line. So to fix it, I just go like this, zoom in a lot so you can see it, and choose. And then you can get rid of both. There's the first one. I'm going to zoom out, see how that didn't take care of both lines now? And then you gotta zoom in more over to here. So see what I mean about copying. You can't always tell, but you could tell later on when you try to do stuff that didn't turn out the way you wanted. Okay, and then erase. Okay, let's take a look here. There we go. Now it's all one solid piece. So I do like the gray scheme that I'm going with, so I am going to open up my materials tab, which is this one here. And that was the word I was looking for in one of my earlier videos, materials. So we are going to do kind of like a dark gray theme. Yeah, make that look nice. Okay, so now we just have to add the lines and the dimension. So the best way to do this, I find, is just to create a nice thin line. Okay, and then copy it. Put it on the bottom. Try to make it match. Then create another nice thin line. On this left side here. Select it, copy, paste. Wait for it to load to know what it wants you to do. And then select over here. Now, a great way to get this shape on the other side as well is to do our eraser tool. Erase those extra lines that are not needed. Zoom in if need be. Okay. Make it a fun color. Like a lighter gray. Fun color, right? Select the shape. Copy. Then zoom in on the other side. Okay, once you got it kind of in view, paste. And look, it copies the whole shape. So as long as you line it up correctly, you got your shape. Now the thing about this, when you do a shape, it deletes whatever's inside the shape. So all you have to do to fix that is to take your pencil tool, select one endpoint and the other endpoint, and then it automatically redraws you a grayish toned, it's actually white, but because we're in the shade, it's gray. So it draws you that whitish gray toned space, which you can then use your materials and make it whatever color you want. Which we're going to go actually with the slate gray. Okay, so now that I have done that, it's all still pretty flat. It's not anything special. So what you do is you just zoom in on one of your squares and use your push-pull tool. I like mine better. I think it's called an elevate. But you use this tool and you get yourself a nice narrow horizontal bar. So you can see right there, it's nice and narrow. You bring yourself to an angle and you go over to the other side, and I've just been eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. When you build it, it'll have to be perfect. But for just a design tool, I mean, if you want it to be perfect, you could spend a whole lot longer doing this. As you can tell, this is a pretty long video, and I'm literally just doing 2 drawers. So then you take your pencil tool and you draw from outer corner to inner corner. Okay. Then you hit the select tool so it unpencilifies you. Outer tool, in tool, and then boom, there is a wall. Outer tool, in tool, and if you zoom in real nice here, outer tool, end tool. Shoop, wall. And then you can do that on all 4 corners using your pencil and your hand tool. Again, outer corner is gray to there, adds another one. And then this last corner will complete this drawer. Boom. And then as you'll notice, it will have completed the bottom too. There you go, nice little drawer pop out, because drawers are not flush. They just Same thing with another helpful hint when building a house. Plumbing actually has to be all on the same side of the house. Makes it easier if it's all along the same wall or same height. Okay, so final corner in the corner here. I'm gonna have to zoom in, and you can see my wall, my drawers being filled. Drawers. And as you can tell, they're not too far out, but it's just enough enough to make it believable that they're there. So next we have to go to this tab right here, which is Components tab. Ooh, and there are these little X's here where you can exit out. So I'm going to search for knob, and I believe it's on the second page. There it is, Knob by Deepak A. I have no idea who you are, but you design a great knob. So I'm just going to put the knob on here, and once it's here, you can actually adjust. If you look at the top, yeah, there's the two plus signs, and it brings you a circle, and you can just spin the knob, and you actually use this to make sure the knob is straight. See, it's not straight because I wasn't using it correctly. But if I zoom in a little bit, I should be able. Yeah, there you go. Zooming in, little plus signs, and let's move it a little bit more. That doesn't like me. Very specific. I think I spend most of the time on here making sure that it is straight. Takes the most effort. Okay, let's try this again. It doesn't want to be straight. Okay, but once you've selected the tool, or the object, if you select another tool, like the orbit one, to get kind of a better view, it actually won't allow you to turn the tool again. So my fix for this, if somebody is having issues, is you just click on the tool, highlight it in blue, not tool, object. You then just copy it, cut it out of there, and then paste. And then it gives you the tool again. Material, component, whatever you want to call it, the object. Most of the time, it'll work. There we go. So now I'm adding the object back on. As you can see, it does print it crooked. So it copies and pastes whatever you had. And then there, since I'm now at a better angle, I am able to actually make it straight. And now that I've done that, I can copy it at the straighter version and then paste it. And I'm just eyeballing. You can get more technical and plan out better places to put the drawer knobs, but I feel like that's pretty good for eyeballing. Looks pretty exact. You got a couple drawers there for storage. Probably shove some clothes in there. I'd probably have clothes all over this tiny home. I have too many. You know, filling up my laundry room, filling up the drawers here. Everywhere you look, clothes and shoes. And video games. Like I said, I have a whole system planned out for the TV part. But that's how you do some drawers. I'll add some more segments from my other tiny house so you can see the start to finish about everything I come up with. Every time I play around with this application, I just get better and better at it. So you will too if you like it. So thank you very much for visiting my channel. Please subscribe if you like the video, and I will post more. I'm also going to be doing some Sims 4 games and some gameplay on my PlayStations and stuff. I just have to fine tune how to actually set that up. I think I like the voiceovers better than talking while doing stuff, except for this because things are a little bit slower. But in the actual video games, I have to pay attention, so it's just kind of difficult. So I think I'll do a voiceover and complain about how stupid I am in the video games. I think it'll be fun to watch. But if you had a good time, just subscribe, tell your friends, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye-bye now.